fiery horse with the speed of light, a cloud of dust, and a hearty hi-yo silver. The Lone Ranger.
For the third time in a month, the notorious Bull Gunderson gang had struck and then split up into pairs to make their trails harder to follow.
Well, there's the hideout, Terry. That's where we wait for Lou and Vince.
Gee, you got a lot of hiding places, Bull. This is one even I didn't know about.
That's because you haven't been with me long, kid. We only use this one when we pull some really big jobs, like the last one.
Well, when do you figure Lou and Vince ought to get here?
Well, they should have been here before us. I had them use the shortcut. Well, come on, let's get this money hidden. Ever see a prettier sight? Close to $250,000 in that vault of mine.
Boy, I never thought I'd see that much money.
Yeah, you earned your share of it, kid. Every last dollar of it. No. When I think back to the day I first found you, you was wounded, sick, half-starved, your ma and pa killed by the Indians. I told you then, remember? This is a dog-eat-dog world. You want money, you gotta go out and get it for yourself. Don't expect anybody to bring it to you. Well, I was right, wasn't I?
I guess you were, Bull.
You know, the trouble with you, kid, is you still got a conscience. Now, that's something I never was bothered with. I wasn't too sure of you at first. I didn't know whether you had the makings of a good outlaw or not.
I've often wondered about that, Bull. I wasn't like the rest of you. Why did you take me in?
Because I needed you, boy. My best man, Joe Curley. Just died of the fever. Now, the law didn't know that. I wanted them to go on thinking he was still alive. I knew they'd never suspect an innocent-looking kid like you had taken his place.
Well, I'm mighty grateful to you, Bull. I guess if you hadn't come along when you did, I might have died out there.
Hey, I'm getting a little worried. Lou and Vince are way overdue. Look here, boy. There's a little town called Pine Gap, about 20 miles from here. Now, you're not known over there. I want you to ride over there, nose around, see what you can find out. Buy a newspaper. The whole territory ought to know about that last job of ours by now. There's sure to be something in the papers.
All right, Bull. I'll go right away.
Be careful.
No use, Kemo Sabe. You not find tracks anywhere here.
It's all right, Tonto. I found them again, on the other side of the river, about a mile downstream.
You think them tracks are Bull Gunderson and Joe Curley?
I'm almost sure they are. Only an outlaw as smart as Gunderson would leave a trail as difficult to follow.
Where them headed?
But they seem to be going in the direction of a town named Pine Gap.
Well, that's a long way yet. We stop for food now?
Later, Tonto. Right now, I'm much more interested in seeing the look on Gunderson's face when you and I show up, instead of the two outlaws he's expecting, Lou Garth and Vince Bailey.
You think him not know we already captured them and turned them over to law?
I'm hoping he doesn't. If he's not expecting us, the chances of our taking him by surprise will be that much better. The sooner we pick up his trail, the sooner we'll bring him to justice. Come on, let's go.
Hiya, Bull.
Hello, kid. What took you so long, kid? I thought you'd never get here.
Well, I heard a rumor that Lou and Vince had been captured.
What?
So I waited for the stage to get in with the late newspapers from Banyanville. Look.
Late yesterday, two members of the notorious Gunderson gang were turned over to the sheriff by a masked man and an Indian who had captured them after a long and bitter chase. Although the masked man refused to identify himself and disappeared before he could be questioned, it was generally believed that he could only have been the famous and much acclaimed hero of the Western Plains known as the Lone Ranger. The Lone Ranger. I knew the law would never take Lou and Vince, but I hadn't counted on the Ranger.
Well, have you had run-ins with him before?
Oh, no. I've been too smart for that. I managed to steer clear of him whenever he got near. But now it looks like it's time for a showdown.
Well, do you figure Lou and Vince told him where the hideout is?
No, they never talk. But that isn't going to stop the Lone Ranger from coming after us and finding us. He's got a knack of tracking men, even when they don't leave no tracks.
Well, then we better get out of here fast.
No, kid. I think he'd find us wherever we went. I think the time has come now to stop running away from that hombre and start running towards him.
What do you mean?
Just this. I'm not going to try and outride, outfight, or outshoot him. I'd probably lose. But I have got a brain just as good as he has, so I'm going to outsmart him.
How?
By using you.
I don't get you.
Look, kid, we've got pretty near $250,000 stashed away under that floor. Now, we're not going to get a chance to enjoy a penny of it until we dispose of the masked man and his Indian pal once and for all. Are you with me?
I guess so.
Good. Now, listen. He doesn't know you or anything about you. He still thinks the fourth member of my gang is Joe Curley. Now, supposing somewhere along the trail while he's tracking down Curley and me, he comes across you, all beaten up. And supposing you was to tell him how two outlaws that fit the description of Curley and me did the job on you. I reckon he'd want to help you, don't you think so?
I guess he would.
Sure he would. Kid, you got a face so innocent anybody would trust it.
Supposing he does fall for the bait, what would I do then?
Well, you lead him into a trap that we got all ready and waiting. There'll be no ambush, no fighting, no gunplay. When the time comes, the masked man and the Indian will just be swallowed up.
Swallowed up? How?
You remember those old abandoned mine shafts out Oak Hill way?
Yeah.
You know the ones they haven't covered up?
Uh-huh.
Well, now, just supposing you and me was to cover one of them with enough leaves and twigs so it wouldn't bear the weight of two men, and just supposing the Lone Ranger and the Indian was to just fall into it.
It's not as deep as I thought.
Huh? That's all at 20 feet down there, and those walls are sheer. Anyone falls in there, he'll never get out.
Supposing somebody comes by.
Oh, no one's used this trail for years. It's been deserted.
It's gonna take a lot of dirt to cover that hole.
Yeah. I'll come back and finish that up later. Right now, we gotta get down to that crossroads. That masked man, the Indian, are as hot on our trail as I think they are. They'll be coming along any minute. They've got to find you there at the crossroads to make sure they come this way.
Right. Let's go.
All right, kid, I guess this is far enough. We don't want to leave hoofprints or footprints near the trail where they'll find you. Now, your story is going to be that you dragged yourself through the bushes to get there. That's just what you're going to do.
Well, I get it. I roll in the dirt, mess myself up, and make them think I've taken a beating.
I'm sorry, kid. That's not good enough.
Well, what do you mean?
I mean this.
Hey, what's the big idea?
Sorry, kid, I had to do it. The ranger's too smart to be taken in by any phony beating. It had to be the real thing.
You think of everything, don't you?
Oh, just keep your mind on the money. That'll make the pain go away. Well, that cheek's beginning to swell up nicely. That bruise will look mighty convincing.
Sure feels convincing.
All right, I'm going back to the shaft, finish that camouflage job. Now, you start crawling to the crossroads. When you get there, just lie still and wait. If we've got any sort of luck, you won't have to wait long for the masked man and the Indian.
Well, do we have to kill him?
Look, kid, I told you, it's them or us. Now, get going. I'll be waiting for you back at the shaft. I'll leave a good, clear trail for him to follow.
There's a trail crossroads ahead, Tonto. If our hunch is right and Gunderson and Curley are headed for Pine Gap, they'll have taken the left turn.
Oh,
Did you hear that?
Come from up ahead.
help! Help!
Why, he's just a boy, Tonto.
Someone beat him up bad.
Masked. And I thought you were a friend.
I am a friend.
No, you're not. You're an owl hoot, just like those two who beat me up and stole my horse.
If we were really outlaws, son, we wouldn't stop and look after you like this. You should judge us by what we do, not by what we wear.
I reckon you're right about that. Those two who beat me up weren't masked, but they sure acted like outlaws.
Who are you, son?
My name is Britt. Terry Britt.
You tell us what happened.
Well, it was about half a mile over that way. I was riding toward Pine Gap when these two jumped out at me, and one was a 6-footer, and the other had thick, short, curly hair.
Certainly sounds like Gunderson and Curly.
Who?
Never mind, son. Just tell us the rest of what happened.
Well, one of their horses had gone lame, and they had to leave it behind. That's why they jumped me, so that they could have mine and keep going where they were headed.
Did you hear any hint of where that might be?
Well, yeah. It was after they'd beaten me up. Reckon they thought I was unconscious. They mentioned something about getting to the Oak Hill mining area before nightfall.
Mining area? That mean not go to Pine Gap like you think, Kemo Sabe.
No. I don't see what they expect to gain by reaching Oak Hill.
Well, they talked about a hideout near there somewhere, with lots of money cached away. They were going to pick up the money and then head for the border.
I'm glad we found you, Terry. If we capture these men as a result of the information you've given us, you'll get a big reward.
I don't want a reward.
You'll deserve it. Any honest citizen who helps bring crooks to justice is entitled to the gratitude of his neighbors. I'm going after Gunderson and Curly. Tonto, you better stay here and look after Terry.
Oh, no such thing. I want to go with you. I've got a score to settle with those crooks myself.
But you have no horse, boy.
Well, I could ride with one of you, couldn't I?
That campfire was very recently put out, Tonto. Gunderson and Curly must have stopped here to eat.
Them take plenty rocky ground and no footprints.
But it has to be them, Tonto. The hoof prints of their two horses were plain all the way up the path.
That right. Prints plenty clear. Them head for mining area like you say.
So we're gaining on them. How are you holding up, Terry?
Fine, but let's keep after them. I can tell by the landmarks that we're nearing the Oak Hill section.
Silver and Scout need a little water. Would you take them down by the stream and get them a drink? Tonto and I will look around here for a while.
Sure thing.
You think boy tell truth?
Don't you?
Me not sure. Him look honest and sound honest, but me not feel right about him.
He strikes me the same way. I've never seen a more honest face. Oh, I don't know. There's something else. I can't quite put my finger on it. I think he's an unhappy boy and a frightened one.
You think him lead us on wild goose chase?
No, I'm convinced we're on the trail of Gunderson and Curly. All the clues point to it.
Then you do think him tell truth?
About where Gunderson and Curly are headed, yes. But the question is Terry helping us to find them, or is he leading us into a trap?
What we do, tie up boy and leave him behind?
No, Tonto. We must capture Gunderson at all costs. If Terry is honest, the trail will lead us to Gunderson. If Terry is crooked, he'll lead us to Gunderson. We'll have to risk the danger and keep our eyes and ears open at every moment. Look, one of them dismounted there, while the other one led the horses through the woods. There are only the boot prints of one man from here on.
What do you make of it?
I'm not sure.
I know this country pretty well, mister. There's lots of old open mine shafts and pits along this path, some of them hidden by underbrush. I think the outlaws knew about it, too, and figured it'd be safer on foot from here.
I've heard of those mine shafts. We better leave Silver and Scout here while we follow those boot prints and see where they lead us. I don't like this, Tonto. I have a feeling there's something wrong.
Me have same feeling. Too quiet.
Do you think it's some kind of an ambush?
I don't know, Terry. It could be.
Maybe we ought to turn back.
These boot prints lead somewhere. If Gunderson and Curly are waiting at the other end, well, they're the men we came after. We'll have to risk it.
Ouch!
What's the matter?
I got a stone on my boot. I'll have it out in a second.
Great work, kid. You couldn't have done it better. What's the matter with you?
I feel sick. I never killed anybody before.
Oh, you'll get over it.
Are you sure they're really dead, Bull?
Of course they're dead, kid.
I wish I could be sure. It'd be awful if they were still alive down there and had to die of being thirsty.
Now, look, kid, I tell you, it's solid rock down there. I've been down in these things. No one could survive a fall down there. Now, come on, let's get our horses.
Boy, double crosses.
Yes, he must have been working for Gunderson all along. Mr. Gunderson laid a neat little trap for us, Tonto, but he forgot one item. It's been raining heavily all winter. The water carried lots of mud and underbrush down to the bottom of this shaft. If it hadn't, we'd be as dead as he thinks we are.
How we get out? Wall's too steep, no way to climb.
We'll have to find a way.
Hey, what are you going to do with that?
I gotta see if they're alive, Bull. I can't just leave them down there like this.
Going soft on me.
Well, no, Bull, but, well, these weren't bad fellas. They took good care of me when they thought I was hurt. They're square shooters. They really try to help folks.
Yeah, I see. And supposing you do find them still alive, what are you going to do? Toss them a rope, haul them out, nurse them back to health again, and then give yourself up to them? Is that it?
Well, no, Bull, we still have time to get the money and make a getaway. They couldn't follow us. But it just isn't human to leave them down there like this.
Okay, kid. Man's got to do what he has to do. I'll let you down. Give me the rope. Sorry I had to do that, kid. You were just too soft.
Oh, my leg!
Oh! You are alive.
That's right, Terry.
Well, go on. Kill me. I have it coming to me. I tried to kill you.
We try to save lives, Terry, not take them.
Feel like boy's leg broken.
We'll have a hard time setting it down here. We must find a way to get out.
I don't get it. Why should you try to help me after what I did to you?
Maybe we don't think you're quite as bad as you think you are, Terry. Just what became of Joe Curley? Was he in on this trap, too?
No, he died months ago of the fever. I took his place.
So that's how Gunderson fooled us all. Where's he headed now, Terry? Or don't you want to help us find him?
Oh, sure I do, mister. I'll help any way I can. He's got a hideout place over near Pine Gap. All the bank money's hidden there. He'll try to pick it up and head for the border.
That doesn't give us much time to stop him, Tonto.
Stop him? You sound like we're really going to get out of here. Look at these walls. They're straight up and down and sheer rock. Nobody could climb them.
I don't intend to climb them, but there is a way out, especially since you so thoughtfully brought this rope down with you.
Well, what good's the rope down here? We can't pull ourselves up on it.
There may be a way that we can.
Silver! Silver! Come on, boy.
How do you figure a horse is going to help us when he's up there and we're down here?
Don't underestimate Silver. He's a very intelligent horse and a very strong one.
Silver! Here, Silver. Come on, boy.
Not quite enough.
Made it. The rope, big fella. Put your feet in the loop. Put your feet in the loop, big fella. You can do it.
He's done it.
Steady, boy. Hold steady now. I'm coming right up. Steady, boy.
How do you feel, Terry?
Oh, my leg kind of hurts, but I'm so glad to get out of there alive. Nothing else matters.
Tonto, do you think you can set his leg without any help from me?
A break not too bad. We not need help.
Good. I'm going after Gunderson. We can't risk letting him get across the border with all that money. It would ruin too many people.
Well, you just keep following that trail, mister, and you can't miss his hideout. And this time I'm not lying.
I'm sure you're not, Terry. Stay right where you are, Gunderson.
How did you get out of that shaft?
Never mind how I got out. Just drop that money.
You'll have to kill me first.
I don't intend to kill you. The law wants you alive. Drop it, I said.
Why? So I could spend the rest of my life in prison? No, thanks.
On your feet, Gunderson. I'm taking you and the money in just as I said I would. We've told the sheriff all about you, Terry. You'll have to pay for your crimes, of course. But since you've helped to capture Gunderson and agreed to testify against him, the law may be lenient with you.
Gee, thanks, mister. I sure appreciate what you've done for me.
You've helped yourself, Terry, by seeing how wrong you were. I hope we'll be hearing nothing but good reports about you from now on. Goodbye, Terry. Come on, Tonto.
So, now you want to spill everything, huh? I save your life when you're sick and starving. This is the thanks I get.
You didn't save my life, Bull. You wrecked it. I only wish the masked man and the Indian had found me instead of you. I wouldn't be in here now.
Oh, I'm not good enough for you, huh? You don't want to be like Bull Gunderson anymore.
I sure don't. From now on, there's only one man I want to be like. He's the Lone Ranger.
Silver!